Well, a lot of that just comes with working with people over the years and gaining that trust and gaining, that level of relationship where it's not someone who just first started. So as over as, Rock and Cena were at the time, from a writer's perspective, I had credibility too, in terms of like when they were doing their angle, I had been there and in that position for over a decade at that point. And they're very, very cool and acknowledge the fact, like someone like this, who's been doing this job, especially for a decade plus, it's not someone just like who's just come off the street and is now saying, no, you should say this. The level of respect, always went both ways, which was really cool. So yeah, that was definitely helpful, like, in terms of being able to try to navigate between that. And that, and then again, that chapter, it definitely took years off of my WWE life just because the stakes were so high and the tension was so real. And thankfully, it all came, when it finally all got together, it came together in harmony with everybody, with, Rock and Cena being on great terms now. But it took a little while to get there, and it was, not a smooth journey. And the coolest thing was, as stressful as it was for me backstage, like the fans could feel it. The fans could see the tension. They knew that, like, this isn't just parts that they're playing, because so many of, the heat between John and Rock, was occurring outside of WWE television. It was occurring with John doing, interviews for, I think, a UK newspaper that sparked it all, and cutting a promo that in Australia that was after the show, and Rock cutting promos on his Facebook that were
the Facebook
decidedly
promos.
longer, more personal, than the what you'd see in the ring. So fans knew, like, wait a second, this is not the normal, WWE quote unquote storyline angle that we're accustomed to. And as detailed in the book, it was my job to try to corral it back together as best I can and get them both on the same page.